There are heightened tensions in the Middle East after the bodies of 3 Israeli teenagers were found yesterday. It's understood they were abducted in the West Bank 3 weeks ago.
So joining us to discuss what this might mean is the Sunday Telegraph's chief foreign correspondent, Colin Freeman. Very good morning to you. Devastating, obviously, for the families, but does this feel like a sort of a critical moment as well?
It certainly does. If you look at the language emanating from either side, the Israeli Prime Minister has said words along the lines that Satan has not found sufficient vengeance to revenge the death of a small child. Hamas, which is accused of organising the kidnapping, has said the gates of hell will open if Israel responds any further. That is not a good mix, especially with all the problems we've got in Iraq at the moment as well.
Yeah. Is there any sense that this can be de-escalated in some way, and we can try, or the intervention of President Obama, of the Pope, who've all condemned the killings, obviously? Is there anything that can be done?
It's hard to see what can be done, really. I mean, first of all, the attention of the international community is very much focused on Iraq at the moment. Secondly, Israel in the past has tended to insist that it will deal with these problems in its own way, and what the outside world sometimes sees as intervention, Israel sees as, a hand on its shoulder primarily when it's been provoked.
Is Israel going to act in retaliation? I mean, Hamas denies involvement, doesn't it, in the kidnappings. If Israel does do something, what might happen?
Well, certainly that will stir up yet another large-scale confrontation in this region of the sort we've seen several times in the last few years. There is a separate question of what more they can actually do. They've already rounded up large numbers of people. This operation to find these boys has been going on for several weeks already. It's not clear what other targets Israel actually has that it can look for now. What additional retaliation there can be.
One quick word then on Iraq, because you've just returned from Iraq and the situation over there, this new Islamic State that's been declared by the Sunni militants. How critical is it that the Iraqi government gets together and the new leader is elected, or a government is put together, in terms of trying to push these militants back and try and control the situation?
Well, certainly they need a command and control centre within the Iraqi government to deal with this. When this crisis first happened about earlier this month, the Iraqi government was in an interim period. They just had elections. It's not clear that they can get a coalition together. They've had considerable trouble in the past. It took 10 months back in 2010. There's obviously a great deal more pressure to do so this time, but it speaks to the sectarian problems on both sides. Neither side trust each other. It's also true that politicians of all shades are not very much trusted in that country. Will a new government do that much good? Will it give people additional faith? Not really clear.
All right, Colin. Thanks very much indeed, Colin Freeman.
Thanks.